do my morning race vlog in the fridge so I didn't disturb the rest of the household. It creates the least light. Anyway, it's race day morning, so I'm pumped, as you can probably tell. I'm doing it all at once, making my coffee and eating my peanut butter toast, and just put a little band-aid on my foot. You can never be too certain about these little blisters, so something big is gonna happen today. I can feel it in the air. It's gonna be fantastic. Let's go.
Gives them that vibes anyway.
His personal best is a 1 hour 25. The race record here is 30 set by Kurt Burnley. And we know how good he is. And to have a PB will happen is quicker than that. So with the record to go very, very close. Ready for an interview after that. It's pretty impressive of these guys. We have two-time champion Bill Casey down
and you're doing so fast, you see that? Okay, pretend that Dom's here and you're giving him the water bottle. That's good, that's good. Go Dom! You've got this! Good job, keep it up!
That's too much. You can put it on like half order.
Yeah, that's big.
What a race and what a weekend. We're lucky enough now to be joined by the marathoner himself, Average Dom Slim, who, as you just saw, chased down a sub-3 hour, 42.2 kilometre on Sunday morning. Here to chat about the race, welcome to the program, Average Dom.
It's good to be here, Anka. Thanks for having me.
Not a worry. Good to have you. Yep. All right, excellent. Look, before we start, this one is for the viewer. Now, on Runrise, we seek a lot of external validation. That's right. So if you enjoyed that little race video that you just saw and you're going to stick around for the interview, which I hope you do, then why don't you give that like button a little smack and that subscribe button a little smack too. They won't smack back. So Average Dom, how did you pull up after the race? And particularly, how's the knee?
Well, legs were super sore for 2 days after at least. I didn't leave the house for 2 days. And the good weather left after the weekend too. So it's just been a cozy couple of days at home, but legs are starting to feel okay again now and I'm itching to get running again.
Oh, absolutely. I can relate. One time, the elevator in my apartment building broke down and I had to walk up 7 flights of stairs using the fire stairs. And I never made it. My wife, she found me crying on the 4th floor in the corridor, sobbing, weeping. It's the stuff of nightmares. Actually, that might have just been a nightmare originally. Sorry, anyway, just goes to show what an effort the marathon is. Okay, now we've seen the replay, but take us back to the start of the race. Were you nervous? Where was your mind at?
My mind was in a really good place. I wasn't nervous, I was just energized. I was raring to go. In the weeks leading up, I hadn't always been in a great place and I'd ebbed and flowed between self-confidence and self-doubt. But just being able to make it to the start line was a huge boost for me. So once I started the race and going into the race, I was calm and confident.
So calm and confident, you might say you bounced a little quickly in the first half of the race there, like a little jackrabbit, didn't you?
I did. Look, the aim was to go in at 3:55s. This was the race plan, 3:55s and then just stick to it. It was a simple race plan, but went in a little bit fast. I think we were doing closer to 3:53 or maybe 3:51s in the first 5 kilometres.
Whoa. Great detail, but there's a lot of numbers flying around there. So just for the people, can we get those numbers up on the screen? We can do that. Look at that. Then the American ones. Oh, sorry, back to you.
So 3:55s in the first 5K was smack on. In the second 5K, I think we're going a little bit quick. We found ourselves in a really good group, a solid group, but perhaps moving slightly too fast. Then Ron and I found ourselves on opposite sides of that group. I was at the front of the group and Ron was at the back, and the group started to fray a little bit, split into 2.
Oh, aha, factions.
Sure. So our faction split off a little bit. I think we were moving a little bit quickly. We were buoyed by the speed and the atmosphere around the Burley turnaround point. So by 15K, I think that last 5K between 10 and 15, we were running about 3:49s.
Okay, and at this stage, you're a little ahead of schedule, right? So are you reconsidering your goal? Because remind us, you set out for a sub-2 hour and 53 minute marathon. And at this stage, I'm guessing you're probably heading for a 2 hour and 44 minute marathon. Tell us about that.
Kind of, yeah, I think that's right. I heard some of the group chatting and they were aiming overall for 2 hours and 43 minutes, 2 hours and 44 minutes. And I thought, that feels about right based on what I'm running at the moment. It didn't seem crazy ambitious, but I don't think I quite appreciated that they were moving real fast.
Real fast.
So from 15K at the turnaround point to 21K, the halfway point, we were doing 3:46s. Dangerous.
You were playing the dangery-do.
And then we crossed the half marathon in 1:21 flat. Ron was about a minute and 20 behind at this stage because he was sticking to that race plan. He's a smart man.
Genius.
It was around that 21 kilometer point that I started to feel something in my hip. I don't know if it was a pinch or a cramp that just turned into a lot of pain. And what it did was restrict my stride. So it meant I had to work harder to keep pace. I think between the 21 and 27K, I was still moving quite well, although it was more effort. I think we were running 3:48s. The group started to drop me, and between 27 and 31, I think I was back to 4:09s. That was a great pick-me-up when I saw my wonderful support team at around 31.5 kilometers, and I got a gel from them and a sip of water and some fantastic cheering. So that was a great boost. But in the last 11 kilometers, it was a battle.
Aha, the battle of marathon, if you will. What? That's a great reference. Oh, get out of here. So 4:26s in the last 11 kilometers. Oh, and where was Ron?
Ron caught me. He took me with him for 4 or 5 kilometers when I was absolutely struggling and I needed that little boost. And then I just told him to leave me because I couldn't keep up. So he moved on without me. My legs were seized up. They were cramping in every muscle.
Quads?
Yeah.
Calves?
Yep.
Hammies?
Every muscle.
Gluteus maximus?
I think it's, yes, sure.
Whoa, that really is every muscle that I can name. And what about this? What about the mental cramping?
It was the most immense mental challenge, but I knew I had to push through. I wasn't going to not finish that race. I was going to do everything I could to make sure I finished that race.
And you did. And you did. 2 hours, 50 minutes, 58 seconds, a 43-minute PB since your last marathon 4 years ago. Can you explain that?
I think I'm just a completely different runner now than I was in Frankfurt 4 years ago. I understand a lot more about nutrition, training, and racing itself, although I know I still have a lot to learn.
Look, and now you're a sub-3 marathoner. You're a sub-2 53-hour marathoner. You qualified for New York. You hit your goals. Look, you should be ecstatic. And yet, I sense you're not.
Look, I am happy in a way, but it just wasn't the race that I wanted. And with so many friends and family and strangers cheering and supporting me on, it's both so heartwarming and I couldn't be more grateful, and yet kind of heartbreaking at the same time because I can't help but feel that I let people down a little bit and I let myself down a little bit. I think I could have raced better. And I know I have so much more to give and I can go faster.
Average Dom, is there anyone you want to thank? Because now is the time to do it.
Yes, thank you. The best running group on the coast, the greatest support team on earth, and the love of my life. You all know who you are.
Exactly. I love that. You know who you are. Unless they don't. God, that could be quite the mix-up. Look, let me ask you this. What went right?
Well, I guess...
See, you weren't expecting that, were you? You thought I'd say, what went wrong? But I did a little flipperoo on the... Back to you.
Thanks. I'd like to say the nutrition went well. The carb loading, the pre-fueling, the breakfast, 3 gels, the water stops. I felt really energized, I did. And I felt the perfect level of energy without being too full that it was uncomfortable. So I'd like to say that went well, although you just can't know, could I have done better if I had a slightly different nutrition plan? The knee strapping was great. I felt no knee pain. Other leg pain, a lot of other leg pain, but no knee pain. So that was amazing.
A miracle.
The race shoes were fantastic. The race outfit worked great. And pretty much everything else on my pre-race checklist worked out to plan.
And we even have a link to that pre-race checklist. We can put everything up. Look, that's up there as well. It's brilliant. Right, now back to a bit of a darker question. Sorry to flip the switch on you there. Did you underestimate the marathon?
I think partly yes. I'm still in the process of evaluating everything and figuring out and reflecting, but I certainly think that's part of it. The marathon is an absolute beast, but I know I'll come back stronger.
Good man. And when's the next race?
Believe it or not, Anchor, I have another marathon in 4 weeks' time.
T-minus 4 weeks' time. Can we put like a countdown timer up there? That's too much. Never mind. So which event?
The Australian Outback Marathon in Uluru.
The Red Centre. The beating heart of Australia.
Red dirt, trail shoes. It'll be an entirely different race, but there'll be more to come on that.
Well, stay tuned, I suppose. Well, that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Average Dom. Congratulations again for your marathon and a special gumburry for the next one.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
And a very, very, very special thanks to you, dear viewer, consisting of our current subscribers and those who are imminently going to subscribe. I hope you all have a great day.